If you or a loved one is in need of end-of-life care, the time is now to consider Hospice Advantage. People who discover the benefits of hospice when it is too late often find themselves saying, "If only I had known sooner." This video will inform you and answer some of the most common questions about hospice care. Let's start with the basics. Hospice is a comprehensive program of health care designed to help people who have a life-limiting illness and a life expectancy of up to 6 months. The benefits of hospice include both physical and emotional support for the patient and loved ones. Pain control is a very important part of hospice. With the patient's pain under control, the patient and their loved ones have a chance to spend quality time together and prepare themselves for the journey ahead. Not only is it beneficial for the patient, but it makes coping with the disease process easier for the family. Emotional support is one of the most important forms of hospice care. Our highly trained Hospice Advantage staff provide a compassionate form of care designed to treat not only the physical condition, but also the emotional condition of the patients and their loved ones. Helping to take away the emotional pain is as important as reducing the pain caused by the disease process itself. Hospice assists people who are dying and their loved ones with a full range of medical, emotional, and spiritual support, including expert information about the nature of your illness, a sophisticated symptom of relief to ease your suffering, help in securing all the medical equipment, medications, and information needed to care for a loved one at home, emotional support, and spiritual guidance. Hospice has a number of advantages over traditional care. Hospice is most often received in-home. The familiarity of being in one's own home adds to the emotional support and comfort of the individual, not to mention the emotional support of the caregiver. Hospice is also frequently provided to people who reside in an assisted living facility or a nursing home. In these cases, hospice offers patients and their loved ones the same type of care and attention they would receive at home. The hospice benefit continues long after the patient has passed, offering an additional 13 months of counseling and support to family members. Let's meet some of our hospice care patients and let them tell you in their own words how hospice care is bringing them comfort.
She came back from the hairdresser one day and she was crying and upset because she couldn't make out her check. She couldn't write her name. My mental state was probably not very good at the time because the stress was very difficult. And so they started out with a Tuesday. And I met Mrs. Baker for the first time, and she showed me what she could do, and I was really a little bit reluctant to turn over these chores to her. I didn't know what was coming about. And then a nurse came, Angie, a super nurse, examined Barbara and seen if she was hurting anywhere. I mean, just as good as a doctor, as good as any doctor I've ever seen take care of her. And that's how I started with Hospice Advantage. I do sleep easier now since I've been in with Hospice Advantage. Things have went better. There's not as much turmoil in my life because I have people to talk to. I have people, caring people. All these people care. It's not just about. It's not about dying, it's about living today. And that's what it is. And you guys help me live for the day and help my wife live for, she gets the best out of it. And sometimes she can still smile. She might give a smile. Something might trigger a little smile or a wink. But they're few and far between. But actually that makes my day.
have a, bad day, or you have a right to have a bad day. Say today sucks. Just say it. It does. I couldn't imagine what he was going through in his mind. And as I was told, we lost one person. He lost everybody. And we don't look at it as him losing everyone. And here we're so selfish, it's him. Look what he lost, His friends, his job, his body. Number one thing, your body, couldn't do for himself. And he apologized for that. He woke up in the ER, and all he could see was these green outfits, and he just was so relieved that I wasn't alone. He went like, oh. But he just seen these outfits, and he knew I was okay, I wasn't alone. So he felt relief, not just for him, but for me, having the care and the support. He would tell anybody to use Hospice Advantage with the care we got and the care that we had seen other people get,
He loved talking to people. And there again, that's why the hospice people were so important to him, because that was somebody that he knew was going to be here. He asked me every day, is the day the doctor comes. He called Leslie the doctor. Yeah, he called Leslie the doctor.
He looked forward to the visit.
Oh, yes, he did.
See that.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, you could see it.
And what I had seen out of the Hospice Advantage, that they were a lot more concerned and helpful than the other ones that I had seen. As long as they never acted like they were in a hurry to leave. If Willard wanted to talk their ear off or whatever, they stayed. They didn't act like they were rushing in to do what they had to do and leave. The biggest blessing, I think, of all was for Willard to be able to stay at home. Because he did say a few times, you can't take care of me, you need to put me somewhere. But there at the last, you need to see about putting me somewhere. And but we had told him that we would never put him in a nursing home, that we would take care of him. And Teresa was down here almost all summer. When James would leave, she'd come down and stay with me, help with him. And I think that was the biggest blessing with the hospice coming in, that we could keep him at home where he'd be happy. And they don't make you feel like you're taking up too much of their time, or that if you have a question, they try to answer it. It's not, they don't make out like, well, that's not important or anything. They try to make sure that you're satisfied with whatever's going on. And that's helpful.
Hospice care is multidimensional. A team of compassionate, expert professionals devoted to their work will offer the medical attention and counseling you and your loved ones need during this difficult time. If you or a loved one is suffering from an end-of-life illness, do not wait another day for relief. At Hospice Advantage, our expert nurses and volunteers are ready to help ease your pain and restore your dignity. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact your local Hospice Advantage office.